Yo everyone, my name is Braiku. Welcome to the video. This is my first video. I'm just gonna free flow this one. No edits, no fancy stuff, nothing. So in this video, I wanted to explain outboxing and why I think it's severely underdone in this game. And there's a multitude of reasons why that is, but I just wanted to focus on one of those reasons in this video. And that's the jab. Why do I think the jab is so underdone in this game? It can do up to 50 damage. The damage cap is like 65. It could probably do even more damage than that. So why do I have an issue with the jab being underpowered? It's because it's lacking the utility that didn't get transferred into Thrill of the Fight 2 and into the VR world in general. How do we fix that? Well, I don't think we can one-to-one fix that hole that's missing, right? I don't think it's possible. But I do think we need to implement mechanics that can kind of shorten the gap. Very slowly, very gradually. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So here's an example. In real life, I throw the jab. I'm trying to control the distance. I'm trying to control the range. I'm versing an inside fighter, a swarmer, someone trying to close the distance to hurt me. I'm on the back foot, throwing the jab out as a frame, controlling the distance, blinding them, pushing them back. It is very hard for them to control the distance, close the distance, unless they use some closing distance strategy on me to counter that, right? Usually you want to block the punches, you want to slip under the punches, you want to return with your own punches to basically let you get in and close that distance, right? I just want to show a quick example of this from both sides that I think was beautiful from both these men, by the way. So Jay here, he's controlling Dave beautifully with his jab, and he's on the back foot trying to control the distance. Dave's objective is he's obviously a bit shorter range. He's trying to close the distance, right? But look how he does this. It is very different to what we see in game. Look at him. He's guarding, blocking, walking forward constantly, but he's guarding. He takes a jab to the face there, but he's always blocking, always guarding. He will return when he gets an opening here beautifully, right? And he's always in that pocket beautifully. But he's doing it with guard and he's doing it with grace, right? And Jay is doing a beautiful job, by the way, keeping him at distance considering Dave's experience. So I was so blown away by Jay's outboxing here. It was so good. It was such a good demonstration of him keeping him at bay. If Jay was to do this, in my opinion, against someone in game, let's just say there's a fighter here. Jay throws the jab. Instead of this fighter being stuck behind the jab, he moves right where Dave is. And he can take that jab to the face. And Jay's in this very, very bladed stance. And this fighter's in his square stance. And he's just took a shot to the face, moved straight through the jab. Like, because of VR. And now he's in the perfect position to throw a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or whatever. And it's like, well, Bryce, but Jay's hitting him with a 50 damage punch. Well, guys, this guy is returning with 200 damage plus, and there's no counter to it. You can physically warp through my arm and be right in my danger zone. And I'm in a bladed stance, they're in a square stance. That is so dangerous. So I think there needs to be some steps to close the gap to give the utility the jab deserves, right? How are we gonna do that? There's been a few ideas thrown up with the community. I just want to hashtag a few of them and just some ideas that I had as well. I'm just going to go through idea number 1. That is giving the jab a visual impairing effect, right? So we can't see a little bit when we get jabbed. So a mini stun or a blind effect, right? So let's just say I'm here, I hit my opponent with a jab. They get blinded for 1-2 seconds, or they get a mini stun. I think this is a great idea. If I had it my way, I'd have this in the game right now. But playing devil's advocate with myself, because every change has a ripple effect onto other systems, and you can't take lightly just implementing stuff like this. So the devs have an insane job. Like, they've done such a good job with this game already. So impressive. Playing devil's advocate, people don't like flashbangs in this game. They've been removed from stuns, probably for good reason. I didn't mind them, but it was quite frustrating playing against, and I do understand people's frustration. Giving like a mini blind effect, like a black effect for a few seconds, that could be nice because, you know, but again, same idea, right? But this would just give a small gap of controlling your opponent basically, and giving like the jab a bit more control mechanics that it doesn't have in this game, that didn't get transferred. Right, idea number 2. I haven't seen anyone else come up with this idea. It's only been mentioned by me. I do have to play devil's advocate with this one as well at the end of this, but that is giving the jab a damage mitigator. So if I hit my opponent with the jab for a few seconds, I take 25% less damage. This would be a great way to basically use it to make it a bit more realistic in terms of, if I hit my opponent in real life, the chances of them coming in and punishing me is much less unless they use blocking. And when I mean punch them, I mean cleanly jab them, not if they're blocking, right, or guarding. But playing devil's advocate to this, if we implement this, this will make counter-striking punished, which I don't think we want at all. So let's say I jab my opponent, but he returns with a 1-2. Even though I jabbed my opponent first, even though, sorry, my opponent struck me with a 1-2, those punches take 25% less damage. So I don't know. Even though he outskilled me, I still win because I jabbed him first. I don't know. Then we look at the opposite of that. Well, what if I jab my opponent and my damage ability, my damage punches do 25% more damage, my combination, for the next few seconds? I think you need to be careful with this one as well, playing devil's advocate, because, you know, this can go both ways. This can help counter strikers and playing on the outside. It can also boost swarmers, which we're trying to even the playing field, in my opinion, because I think outboxing is so undercooked in this game. I think close to mid range is everything right now. I truly stand on this. I don't think distance striking is a good tactic in this game. Don't get me wrong, jabs are great, right? Jabs are great if you're a target. If your target is quite stationary and you guys are controlling the distance and there's not much forward pressure happening and you have a range advantage on him, right? So he's trying to jab me. His punch only comes to here, but I'm jabbing him and I have a longer range. It's fine. As soon as that person decides to walk forward, there's nothing I can stop him. It gets to a point where I have to move backwards. I can't push him away or anything. I'm in the corner and I need to try and pivot out. And by the way, the backpedaling never stops and he'll eventually get me, or I need to stand my ground and trade in the pocket with him. That's what it feels like to me. So there needs to be some mechanic that evens the playing field, that makes outboxing a viable strategy in this game. Because like I said, I jab someone from a bladed stance, they're in a square stance, I throw the jab out, they cannot block that punch and they can be here in my danger zone by the time I've brought that punch back. and they're giving me 200 to 300 plus damage, right? So when I was playing Thrill of the Fight 2, I was trying to figure out why I couldn't control people from range like IRL. Like, why is that? Let's break it down. Let's analyze this. And I think this is one of the reasons. So I think we need to find out a way as a community, as a team, to give the jab something. Because the last thing, I want professional boxers to come in this game and beat up all of us, right? All of us. Right now, I do think professional boxers have, like, you know, a big advantage compared to but I do feel like they're not as powerful as they should be. In a matter of fact, I think they're 50% weaker than what they would be in real life. And I want to increase that to, like, let's say 80%. And I feel like this is a step targeting the jab in the right direction. Because the jab is everything, man. I don't want to throw a jab and have a guy teleport through my arm and me to be in a bad spot. I was looking at footage of me fighting in this game, and I realized I'm not throwing the jab nowhere near as much as I do in real life. Why is that? It's because I'm getting punished, and my subconscious brain has changed my playstyle to be like, well, just throw a right instead all the time, because at least you can knock someone out when they're coming straight in, and you can do damage, and you can, like, get a, you know what I mean? You can line up a hook with it and stuff, but a jab, they teleport right in. They're too close for the right. I could throw a hook, but it just feels janky, right? Like it, yeah. And I'm not here complaining, by the way. I love this game. I think it is so great, but I just want to point out the obvious as an outside fighter. And I want what's best for this game, even if I'm wrong. That's all it comes down to. All right, so my last idea, and it's probably the worst idea, but, you know, we'll throw it out just for fun. When you step out of your play area, you see a ghost of yourself, right? So let's just say this is the ghost, and you're here. You need to step back into your avatar to throw a punch. So I was thinking, what if you jab someone and it makes their ghost stay put even if they walk forward, and maybe their ghost takes a few seconds to catch up to them? I only just came up with this one, and it's probably a terrible idea, but I just want to get creative and throw ideas out there. But I definitely do think we need to add a gamified mechanic to the jab. I'm not a fan of adding gamified mechanics to this game. Overload them with gamified tactics, but the jab's an exception to the rule, because its mechanics and its utility IRL has quite gamified mechanics when you think about it. It blinds you, it pushes you back, it controls the range. Like, how disgusting does that patch sound? So yeah, I just wanted to leave you guys with that, and just my thoughts on the jab and why I think it's completely underdone. A few other reasons I think outside boxing isn't as good. Organically in the VR environment, people aren't going to have a big play area, so that kind of makes infighting and mid-range fighting a lot more viable. There's a few other punches that are capped. I do understand why they are capped, but I wonder if we can separate why we're capping them from the other cause to letting skillful, good form range punches not be capped from lunging. But that's a completely different subject. I don't want to go into that one. But yeah, the jab I feel is undercooked. And yeah, let's make the jab great again, because right now the jab sucks in this game. It sucks. It's only good if you're fighting someone who's not trying to press forward and who's not, yeah, more aggressive than you, in my opinion. And if you think the jab is good in this game, that's great. Your jab would be 10 times better IRL, my man. So I just want to end with that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Probably a bit cringe. I don't care. But anyway, make sure to like the video, share it, like it if you agree. Thumbs down if you don't agree. I don't know how all this works, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and have a good one. Peace. Dude, I'm still recording.